So if I asked any of you who won the Super Bowl this year, I'm sure a few of you would still remember. We live in Southern California, so I'm sure you guys know who won the NBA Finals this year. And the World Series was a few weeks ago, so I'm sure no one's forgotten that the Yankees won that. But I think some of you probably don't know that we had another sports playoff just recently this past Sunday. It was the 2009 MLS Cup Finals. So soccer is probably the most recent sport to break professional in America, and I think that it doesn't get as much of the attention and the history that it has here in the States compared to other sports. So I want to explain to you guys the beginnings of the Major League Soccer Association here in the United States, the struggle and the resistance that it has here in the U.S., and the future that it has here. So the MLS is Major League Soccer, but it wasn't the first professional soccer league to start here in America. The first one was in 1969. According to USA Today, there was the North American Soccer League, and it had a good run for a few years in the 70s, partly because it had the New York team had a professional player, legendary player, Pelé from Brazil. He played on the New York team for a while. It consisted of a few teams, and a couple were from Canada, but it didn't have good advertising, good expansion. It was really disorganized. So by 1985, that organization fell apart. And then the 1994 FIFA World Cup was coming along. The U.S. wanted to be a part of it, but FIFA regulations required that the country, to have a team in the World Cup, needed to have a professional soccer team for the country, so soccer league. So then the Major League Soccer Association was created in 1993. It started off with about 10 teams. Right now it's more than the teams. Los Angeles Galaxy was one of the first, and so that allowed the U.S. to be a part of the 1994 FIFA World Cup. The U.S. soccer hasn't gotten a big fan following. It hasn't really been popular. We don't have controversial players like Dennis Rodman, someone crazy in a wedding dress. We haven't had a playboy yet, someone worthy of being on a centerfold shirtless. Soccer outside of the U.S. and other countries has had that much time to build up superstars and crazy icons. In Argentina, they have Maradona, who his fan base is so popular that they have a religion named after him. They created in 2003 called the Church of Maradona. And then, let's see, in England, soccer has David Beckham, who's pretty with his shirt off. Come on. So, but the U.S. just hasn't had the time. We've been since 1993. We don't have the all-American boys like we do in baseball. We got Babe Ruth. Basketball, we've had Michael Jordan. Golf, we have Tiger Woods. There just hasn't been enough time, history in the sport here in the U.S. Also, the culture is different. American culture hasn't really taken kindly to soccer, especially to professional soccer. I'm sure a few of you have played youth soccer, JUSA, AYSO, things like that. It's become more of a everyone is a winner type of sport. It's been seemed like, there's no competition, there's no, getting down and dirty and bloody. It's more like it's okay to be mediocre, or it's, run by moms in minivans. That's the culture that a lot of people see soccer as. And a sports analyst, Frank Defert, says it's just simply un-American. We're all about forward, forward, forward in sports in our society. With soccer, there's offside. You could end the game with a tie. Who wants to end with a tie? You want to see a winner. You want to see the physicality and the brute force of football. You want to see the fast pace of basketball. You want to see cheerleaders. Soccer just doesn't present that to the U.S. But it is a really good calculating sport. It's fast paced at times. It's structured. It's a bit slower. It's just not what we're used to. In other countries, according to USA Today, soccer was the sport of more of the poor, the urban sport. And here in the United States, we started out with like baseball, and basketball was more of the urban sport. Football, kids playing basketball out on the pavement in a parking lot in a driveway. In South America, Europe, it was soccer, and so that's why it took on such a good foundation, and that's why it's so popular now in other countries. And here, it's still pretty brand new, and we're kind of still trying to take to it, but it's not going so well. Soccer does have its fair share of superstars that, some of you might know, some of you might not. We've had Alexi Lalas, played for LA Galaxy. Kobe Jones is really popular. These two guys have been with the MLS since it started back in 1993. Granted, it has just been about 16 years, but they're good guys. A lot of the reason why we don't have young up-and-comers like right out of high school, like Kobe Bryant was right out of high school and he was just a superstar for the Lakers right away, is because America just doesn't have the organizations or the schools that Europe has. Europe has the British Premier League. They have academies right out. They can start you at 14. They'll put you in a school just for soccer. And so a lot of the young American kids, like Freddie Adu, who are really good here in the U.S., the first opportunity that they get, they go over to Europe and they play there. And according to ESPN, the schools just make the biggest difference. The academies help develop the kids as soccer players, their physique, their technique. That's where you get like your Cristiano Ronaldos or even David Beckham. You start them young. And in the U.S. here, the equivalent, I think, would be high school football, is where you start them young and you get them to train for big leagues. According to, if you look on the USC football team roster, a lot of the starters and former starters, Chris Gallipo, Matt Barkley, Mark Sanchez, they're all from OC high schools down here, local boys, and that's where they got their development. That's where they first got noticed. Now they're popular names when you watch. Sanchez is for the Jets now, and the other boys are still in USC, but they're big names. You hear them all the time because the sport is so much more popular. But I believe that there is hope for soccer here in the U.S. I think it just needs to take some time. This past weekend, the MLS Cup final was a local team. It was the LA Galaxy, who lost to Real Salt Lake, and it had, according to wordblogger.com, it had 46,011 fans there at the site. And on Business Sports Daily, the ratings were higher than they've been since 2005. It was a .9 rating. Now, Business Sports Daily also had the baseball World Series rating was a 6.9. 6.9 versus .9 is a big difference. But for soccer, professional soccer here in the States, it's a big victory because it's 29% higher than it's been in the past almost 5 years. And so we're getting there, And we also have cheerleaders. Soccer has cheerleaders. Chivas USA team has Chivas girls. If you guys have ever seen them, they're cute. They're like Dallas Cowboy version for soccer. And Los Angeles is the first team ever. If you go on LAGalaxy.com or MLS.com, Los Angeles is the first city to have dual teams. We've got LA Galaxy, who has Beckham and Landon Donovan. They're both really good players. And then we now have Chivas USA, which is a part of the Guadalajara, Mexico team. It's like a subset. But currently in the United States, MLS is still seen as like the underdog or like the bastard child. It's being used kind of like the National Association Soccer League was back in the 70s. It's being used to bring retired players in and like let them still play around and do their thing, show them off. We've got Cuauhtémoc Blanco, David Beckham. David Beckham's a little bit past his prime, but here he's doing really good. He draws big crowds and he's a superstar. But what Major League Soccer needs is more superstars to stay here in the country. LA Galaxy, our home team, has Landon Donovan, who's really good. I don't like him, but he's a really good superstar, and that's what he needs to do. Players need to stay here, and they need a really great fan base. So I just want to, encourage you guys to go see MLS soccer and support your home teams, or just to get to know them a little bit better. If you want to see fights, they fight. Oh my gosh, especially here in LA, because we have those little teams that fight. You want to see Chivas girls, they're cute, they wear costumes on Halloween. There's a lot to offer. These are really good sports. It's here at the Home Depot Center in Carson. So I just think that having superstars from America stay in America and having more of a fan base and more attention will help this sport to grow here in the U.S. and really become a part of our culture.
I'd like to, about